Welcome back. It's 5 after 8. You're listening to the Talk Shop with me, Naye, Lupondwana. Thank you very much for staying with us. We continue together until 9 o'clock, and this time around we focus on our next conversation. For those of you who still love to send some opinions, I noticed that there's a conversation we started yesterday on Facebook, which seems to be, well, it has got people's attention. And the question I was asking there is, what exactly is it that we are supposed to be focusing on? Should we be focusing on the law, the rule of law, or should we be focusing or should we be following what we believe in? That's what we're talking about on Facebook. The conversation still continues. I'm noticing people are still sending opinions on that issue to date. I didn't know. All right, so if you want to engage in that conversation on Facebook, Naye Lupondwana Live. Naye Lupondwana Live. Let's focus on our next conversation now. This time around, we're talking to our guest in Cape Town, on our Cape Town studios. His name is Godfrey Madanhire. Is that how you pronounce it? Madanhire?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you very much, Naye.
How are you doing, sir?
No, I'm doing very well, and thank you very much for having me.
Lovely. Godfrey Madanhire is the founder of Dream World Promotions. Tell us about Dream World Promotions, sir.
Dream World Promotions is actually my brainchild. I found the company in 2006, and we focus on motivational speaking, life coaching, trying to help people, reach their goals in life.
All right. I am told that you're a professional motivational speaker.
Yeah, definitely I am.
And tell us, what does it take to be a motivational speaker?
Basically, it's about your attitude as a person. It also, you need to observe what's happening around you and probably learn lessons that you can take out there and help other people. You also need to interact with people, get to know, what helps them tick, and what is it that contributes to their downfall. Take out all those lessons and try and help other people. It's not about following textbook solutions, but coming up with practical solutions that can actually help people.
All right, that's what you are. I want us to go back in time and learn more about you as an individual. Now you're a professional motivational speaker. Let's go back to Zimbabwe. You're a Zimbabwean. Tell us about your birth. Where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Zimbabwe in a very small town called Marondera.
Okay.
And I grew up in a very average family, with my father and mother. My father had an average job. My mother was also working, but it was not a very good job, but at least, she could help, put some food on the table. It's very important that I talk about, my family's situation, because I probably contributed to what I am today. My father enjoyed life. It's unfortunate he's late. He passed on in 1997. So my mother had a tough life as we grew up. Now, I started being a motivational speaker when I was still young, because the first person that I motivated was my mother. I helped her stay, with my father when she felt she was supposed to leave. Because, just to give you an idea, there is a point when my father would come into the house with a girlfriend, tell my mother to get off the bed, and I should probably sleep in the lounge or sleep in the kitchen. And, that's not easy for any woman to bear. So I told my mother, no, stick around. We need you here. Let me, go to school. Let me finish school, and I'll take care of you. So she listened to my advice. She listened to this young motivational speaker. She stayed around until I grew up. I finished my school. And I finished my school, she told me, come on, we agreed that when you finish school, then I should leave. And I think I can't be anymore. And indeed, she left. So I then started as a teacher. I started teaching in various...
Hold on, before we get to the teaching part, I want us to go back to your years, your growing years. How was your relationship with your father?
My relationship with my father was a bit strange. We were close, but we also, when I grew up, when I was a teenager, we started fighting because many times I would sit down with him and I would tell him what he was doing was not fair, both to us and to my mother. And obviously, it was difficult for me to take that or to accept that, as it were. So when he was broke, then we were friends. And when he get paid, obviously, we would fight. until it get broke again. So it was a very strange relationship.
What was causing the fight?
We would fight because obviously of what was happening between him and my mother. As a child, I was the first one, so I was forced to intervene here and there, which was something that was in the open. Everyone would see what was going on, and everyone was not happy. So I spoke out, and he couldn't take that lightly.
How many are you at home? Children, that is.
Yeah, we are 5, 4 boys and 1 girl. I'm the first one, and the girl is the last one.
And how was their response towards the conduct of your father?
Everyone was not happy, but I must say the other ones were too young to understand what was going on.
Okay.
I can say myself and the one that comes after me, it was the two of us who will understand what was going on, and I must say we were affected to a certain way. But when I look at it, now, I feel it was a great thing, because if we were comfortable and everything was fine, then I wouldn't be where I am now.
What did your father do for a living again?
He was working at a company where he was a warehouse manager.
All right.
Yeah.
And tell me the environment at home. Was it a political environment? Were you politically inclined, or were you just an ordinary family that is trying to make ends meet?
No, we're just an ordinary family. We're never involved in politics, not at all.
All right. And your mother, what was her background?
She grew up from a very, humble background.
Yeah.
When you look at how she met with my father, it's a bit funny, because my grandfather was a pastor, and my mother's mother, which is my grandmother, was very active in the church. So obviously, my grandmother got very close to the pastor, and the pastor felt, it would be great if his son can get married to my mother. So, that's how they got to know each other, they then got married.
You said whatever happened affected you somehow. Have you managed to establish how it affected you?
Yeah, obviously, I grew up as a very angry child, but the only positive thing about it is that I turned that anger into drive, into motivation, and it pushed me to reach greater heights.
And is it the anger that pushed you, or the lessons that you learned out of that?
Yeah, obviously, I would say I learned a number of lessons out of it, but these are lessons that came from a very angry person. Someone wanted to do something, someone wanted to prove a point, someone wanted to make a difference, both in my life and my family's life. Yes.
The effects of whatever was happening at home on your schooling, what effects were there? Were there any effects, or did it affect your schooling in any way?
If you didn't, it was not very significant. If anything, like I said, that actually drove me, to be serious with my schoolwork, and I did very well. Maybe if it had a negative effect, it was when it comes to my siblings, but not to me. I was not affected negatively. No, I was too strong for that.
All right, I like that. Too strong for that. All right. And your relationships with friends and potential suitors, like a wife and a future wife and all that, did it have any effect on your social relations?
I think it had, because like right now I'm not married, and I don't want to make the same mistakes that my father made. I feel I want to have a happy family. I want to be there for my children. I want to be there for my wife, because she shouldn't suffer the same way my mother suffered. So yeah, it had an effect.
Did you find yourself doing some of the things that your father was doing also?
I don't think so. If there's anything, maybe I picked up the positive things that he was doing. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
But obviously, even if he was that bad, there are some positive things that he was doing. So obviously, I learned those lessons, and I'm doing that right now.
Let's talk about those lessons. What lessons did you pick up?
My father was ambitious. When I look at his performance at work, every year, I know he would come home and tell us that he has been promoted, he has a better salary, I know, he bought a car for himself, he was always changing cars, you could see, that, he's ambitious, he want to make things happen. Obviously, it was not for the benefit of the family, but for him as a person, he achieved a lot. He was very ambitious. And when I look at myself now, I'm very ambitious. I think I'm bigger than life.